Jaylen Brown put his pants on backwards. I don't know if I've seen this before.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to judge this because I too have once put my pants on backwards.
This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Mr. Roberto, and it's been 118 sleeps since we saw the Golden Knights lift Lord Stanley's mug. And since then, it's been a constant build of anticipation, a growing thirst for action, a hankering for the game we love so much. And ladies and gentlemen, the puck drops tomorrow, as the NHL season officially begins tomorrow with 3 regular season games, including the highly anticipated debut of Connor Bedard. Bedsy takes the ice across from his childhood hero, Sidney Crosby. We've been waiting for this matchup so long. It feels like forever ago since this post-draft moment.
I'm sure you've had so many people reach out to you to congratulate you via text or social media shout out about being the first overall pick. Who's the coolest person that you've heard from so far?
I got a text from Sidney Crosby, so that was really cool. My favorite player growing up, and obviously one of the best to ever do it. So I was pretty excited there.
In celebration of the new season just being a day away, we're asking one burning question for each Canadian team, starting with the Eastern Conference today and moving to the West tomorrow. First up, the Habs question comes down to one man, Juraj Slafkovsky. After a disappointing debut last season, he'll try to get his NHL legs under him and prove that he was worthy of the first overall pick. There have certainly been some encouraging preseason signs. You know what? It was probably just first season jitters for this guy, okay? He's just a kid. Give him a minute.
It's working it back in deep. Fresh from the bench, it's Crosby. Crosby on Kunitz and shot. Penguins win it! And they go to the final!
Sorry, Sens fans, I know that was painful. The Sens' last taste of the playoffs was a heartbreaking one, as Chris Kunitz scored a double overtime Game 7 winner to send the Penguins to the Stanley Cup final. Since then, the Sens have retooled around young stars, including Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, and Tim Stützle. Additionally, young defenseman Jake Sanderson signed an 8-year contract worth more than $8 million per season. And with Claude Giroux returning and Vladimir Tarasenko added, we have to ask, is this the year the Sens finally return to the playoffs? I hope for Sens fans, it is. And also, you know what, for Leafs fans too, let's get that Battle of Ontario going again. And speaking of the Leafs, the Brad Treliving era officially starts Wednesday. Although I guess seeing as how he's a GM, it already started. In a move that shocked the hockey world this offseason, the Leafs moved on from GM Kyle Dubas, and many wondered whether that was the right move. Regardless, Treliving has certainly worked to change the identity of the Leafs, with 3 gritty signings in Ryan Reeves, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Max Domi. And these are the sort of guys you love to have in the playoffs. And this answer from Reeves, when asked about Radko Gudas screaming in Joseph Wall's face, shows why.
Well, I hope he tries that. Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be fun. I doubt there's going to be any of that here.
This is the thing you love to see for Leafs fans, you know? An off-season that gives them more hope for the upcoming season, right? It's going to be this year, guys. To the NFL, and we learned a ton in Week 5. But let's start with the biggest story, and that is injuries. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Anthony Richardson suffered a grade 3 sprain of his AC joint in his throwing shoulder. There's some speculation that we could see the rookie QB go on IR, as he's expected to miss about a month. He'll undergo an MRI today to provide more info. But either way, expect Gardner Minshew to start Sunday against the Jags. The next big injury was likely the first overall pick in your fantasy draft, as Justin Jefferson left the Vikings' loss to KC with a hamstring injury. All we know so far is that it's too early to tell anything. So like all of Minnesota, we are on standby mode. Now for the Bills, the bad injury news last week carried into this week, as Matt Milano fractured his leg and is also feared to have suffered a torn ACL. So it appears the season's over for one of the league's best linebackers. Outside of injuries, the biggest story Sunday was the continued dominance of the 49ers. Because we're going streaking.
We're going streaking! Yes!
Brock Purdy won his 10th straight game. Christian McCaffrey found the end zone for the 14th straight game. And the 49ers scored 30 or more in a game for the 8th straight time. This team is hands down the best in the NFL right now. On this, there can be no debate.
So on this issue, there's no debate, and no intelligent person can think different.
And I finished with Mac Jones and the Pats, as the 34-0 loss Sunday to the Saints was the worst home loss in Patriots franchise history. And like the week before, Mac Jones was downright awful again. He's thrown no touchdowns and 4 interceptions over the last 2 weeks, while leading his offense to only 3 total points. But that doesn't mean Bill Belichick is ready to move on to a new quarterback.
Bill, what went into the decision to sit down Mac there in the later stages of the game?
At the end of the third quarter. So,
Is he still your quarterback going forward?
yeah, there was a lot of problems. It certainly wasn't all him.
Week 5 concludes tonight with Monday Night Football, as the Raiders host the Packers. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Running back Aaron Jones is listed as questionable for this one, with word coming down just moments ago that Jones is now unlikely to play tonight. Devontae Adams is also listed as questionable, with the expectation that he's going to play against his former team. Who Who or what could possibly be making them so angry? Time now for my favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And in the history of this segment, this next video belongs in the Hall of Fame, with maybe one of the best reveals in the history of reveals. Did I hype that up enough?
There we go!
No words needed to be spoken. That was masterfully done by that kid. But imagine being a grown man pointing and yelling obscenities at a child over a game. All right, this next video is great because we're pro any mom-child football highlights. Oh, I love these. Mom came to play, let's go. Oof, oof. But Mama was a D1 athlete, all right? Clearly. Back to hockey, we got a massive signing this morning, as Rasmus Dahlin has signed an 8-year contract with the Sabres with an $11 million AAV. Dahlin was 5th amongst defensemen in points last year with 73, the 3rd highest mark by a defenseman in Sabres history. And this is another move by Buffalo trying to lock up its young core, as Dahlin joins Tage Thompson, Dylan Cousins, and defenseman Mattias Samuelsson as players who have all signed 7-year deals with the Sabres since the start of last season. That's all for today. We'll see you right back tomorrow at 3 Eastern, no Pacific. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving.